No, so here's the deal, man. We're going to listen.
Can I ask a question real fast? Is there any NFL head coach that you think is having more fun than Dan Campbell right now? This was him this morning. He picked up his massive coffee from Starbucks. Look at that smile.
He's so happy, dude. He's just so happy. Like
he should be.
He's happy losing.
Won 52-6.
But he's happy winning a game where they throw 5 picks. He's happy winning 52-6. Like, and there were moments in this game where I was like, "Damn, they're definitely rubbing the Jags' nose in it."
Yeah.
But it's not personal. They just hate everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the cool thing about the Lions. It's very Detroit.
That should be a fucking tag.
It's not personal. We just hate everyone.
Yep.
Fucking sick.
Put it on a Lions t-shirt.
But
somebody the thing on the internet now is like you'll see a t-shirt and everybody will be like, here's where you can buy the t-shirt, and it's all like them trying to make money. That's what's going to happen to us, but that'd be a great t-shirt.
The other coach I think that is feeling that way is probably Tomlin. Just like every year, everyone talk about his team and what you're not going to do, and it's just like we say that.
What do you say? I'm paid very well or very handsomely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and he's never had a losing season, and it's just like he's back at it. And like after the game, he did something where he like beat it out on his chest and like he was barking at the crowd. And I was like, I know he wakes up every day feeling like, yeah, like they write me off every year and all I do is win.
Dude, Tomlin has been proved right. Dan Campbell's been taking victory laps since he took the job. They're culture guys. I said this on the last week's preview show.
Mm-hmm.
You remember there was this whole, well, remember, you don't have to remember that long. But there was this whole, like, let's hire the shortest, youngest looking guy who spent time with a Shanahan, and then it was a McVay, and it's all offense and
LaFleur,
who's a great coach, and McVay's a great coach. They're both top 5-7 coaches. I don't know, I haven't ranked them,
but they're all clones from the same family tree.
No question.
So it's refreshing to get Dan Campbell, who is just fucking ripping coffee. He goes through probably 2 or 3 tins a day. Just yelling at everybody at all times. Heart rate 143.
Heart rate's got to be through the roof. We sent him Copenhagen one time. He was so happy. And so, like, here's the deal. Look around the league at the division leaders. And as of last week late, there's 8 divisions. 7 of them are occupied by, leaders or teams coached by, defensive or culture guys. Defensive coaches or culture guys. I can never remember a time in recent memory where, you could think about it. That's why we talked about Dion coming to the NFL. I'm not going to, on its head, be like, yeah, Dion can't coach in the NFL, like, because he hasn't been one of these whiz play callers or whatever. Like, at this point, culture wins, dude. Culture wins. Defensive. Jim Harbaugh is a culture guy. Sean McDermott's a defensive guy. Go around the league. Nick Sirianni, who is, by the way, that Pat McAfee segment where the guy was imitating Nick, and Nick's in the 2 box. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was gold. That guy needs an Emmy. I don't know his name. He needs an Emmy.
Ty Schmidt.
Ty Schmidt needs an Emmy. Great job, buddy. And Sirianni just didn't know what to do. He was like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. But Nick Sirianni is another guy who he takes a lot of shit, but he's got one of the best winning percentages in the damn league. And half the people don't like his quarterback. So tell me why. And you could say it's all Howie Roseman. But all I'm saying is there's a lot of guys right now coaching football teams who aren't these boy wonders. And Dan Campbell's Article 1, dude, when he got hired and he said he's biting a kneecap, I'm so glad we're past that whole like, oh, these meatheads, stupid coach. Like, that was the whole thing. I'm like, bro, like, give him a chance. What? Because he says he's gonna.
He is a culture guy, but he's got one of those young little whizzes with him.
He does have
that's
one of those
actually
guys.
my game ball is going to go to Ben Johnson, Lions offensive coordinator, who will be a head coach
in Chicago.
It feels like immediately, yeah. 645 yards of total offense. Also, anytime that you rest your all your great players in the NFL in week 11, that's fucking amazing.
And they could have done it earlier. Let me just say,
they might lose both.
Dude, it didn't even seem close.
They might lose both.
They're gonna, dude.
Because Aaron Glenn
is a beast too.
Yeah,
I think they've had multiple picks, and
they've improved.
Good, bad problem to have, right?
No question. And then we find out, how Dan and Brad Holmes make it work on the hire. Like, you talk about the other team in the division. The 2 offensive coordinators have been fired this year have been Bears hires. You know, it's the guy in Vegas, Getsy, who was there last year. It's their hire, and then this year they fire Waldron, and they took a good hard look at like the list is all successful coordinators. So I know Lions fans want us to talk about the game. It's hard for me to talk about a 52-6 game. You guys are awesome. Lions are great. I think this is so crazy because like I can never remember a time where, not never, but a team like the Lions were so heavily favored to win the Super Bowl. Like right now, you know, they're the odds-on favorite in Vegas
for the first time.
It's hard to wrap your head around it, but it makes so much sense. They're the best team, top to bottom.
I think it's the only time in our whole life they've ever been the favorites.
When I say a team like them too, I also mean like who would have guessed this 2 years ago? You know, like most times if somebody's a clear favorite in the Super Bowl odds, like that's a program that's been building a while. They have some quarterback, and Detroit has a quarterback. But the point is like when they picked him up a couple years back, nobody was like, oh, this is the start of something, you know? Mm-hmm. And when Dan Campbell got hired, nobody said this is the start of something. And when they started winning, nobody was like, hey, they're going to win the Super Bowl in a couple years. They got a shot to do that. So good for them. My question off this game was going to be, what's the worst ass kicking y'all ever got in a football game? Can you remember the score? Can you remember how it felt?
Wait, did we? What did we lost? We lost bad to Mark Sanchez and USC here.
Oh, that was awful. I came back for that game. I was standing on the sideline with Troy Polamalu, nicest guy in the world, and I was watching that big ass safety just obliterate all y'all.
Oh my God, who was it? No, who was that guy?
The huge safety.
Oh, he was
played
just
for the Bengals.
He was
the
just
kid from USC.
Yeah.
Yes, he was just yapping the
Taylor Mays.
Taylor Mays. And Mark Sanchez juked me with a big ass Don Joy knee brace.
No,
felt so
in the red zone.
No, not in the red zone.
I kind of remember somebody doing something bad in the red zone.
Oh man,
wasn't you glad?
No,
but it wasn't even close. I remember that game. I'll tell you what. My second year, you can look this up. I think it was 2009. I think it was 47-7. We got beat by the Jets with Brett Favre. Brett Favre Jets. I was over there at right end. Thanks a lot, DC. And just doing cardio on DeBrickashaw Ferguson, who has like erector set arms, dude. And Brett Favre is just like he's vintage Brett Favre that day. 47-7, I think.
And then the how bad did we
47-3. I give us too much credit.
How bad did we lose to Wyoming? Did we get boat raced?
No, it was like 20-3.
Okay.
But that game felt terrible.
It felt
we were
bad.
At like
there was no air.
8,000 feet. There was no air. At least there's air in Detroit.
As a fan, just to gas you guys up, you were on the field for the Miami game, 48-0.
Oh yeah,
and that popped into my head.
Orange Bowl.
Okay, Orange Bowl. Last game at the Orange Bowl. Miami's pretty
packing.
good. Miami's pretty good that year. The Rock does the coin toss. I'm standing up there like doing the coin toss, looking over at the Rock. I'm like, "What's up, Rock?" And I'm like, "Man, this place is ready to erupt. If we fuck up and we just kick their ass." It was like 48-0.
Beat the brakes off of them.
Now the other one for me was, it was the Ravens. I think it was Torrey Smith's coming out party in 2011. I don't remember what the score of that game was. Look that one up for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and the blind side. I was working the blind side all game.
Yeah.
The guy in the movie. I was working the guy in the movie. 37-7. That wasn't that bad.
I got one that was bad. This is somewhat topical. Thursday, November 26th, Thanksgiving. Eagles played at Detroit. Got the brakes blown off of us, 45-14.
Ooh,
remember that.
Brutal game
on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, and then we got the weekend off because it was a Thursday game. My family was all in Minnesota. I decided to stay in Detroit because I have a really good family friend. One of my really good buddies lives there.
Sure you do.
They were all Lions fans. I was miserable after the game. Went over to their families Thanksgiving, got absolutely drunk as shit off there. His 14-year-old cousin wouldn't stop talking to me about how
I thought you were saying the 14-year-old cousin was feeding you alcohol or something.
No, I was feeding myself.
Well, that's what you get because remember you had
me, dude.
Remember you had me at that New Year's Eve night where you took me to like basically an underage bar. Yeah. You know this story?
Yes, I love this story.
New Year's Eve, like he brings me and my wife and my mom to like this bar, and it's like
18 and
literal like underage bar.
He lied to me. He's like, "Oh, it's gonna be chill."
Yeah,
he did it just to get me in
it was
the
not
door.
chill at all.
It was not
Yo,
chill.
before we move on, I forget, bro. You have to check out Chef Geach. He's like a Lion super fan, and he's a rapper, and he does like a NFL week wrap up
Yeah.
every week where he's rapping it, like doing a freestyle, and it's always so great. And like,
It's
he obviously
Skills. Remember that Skills guy?
yes, Skills
wrap
via
up.
he's from
He's
Richmond.
from Richmond.
Yeah, the wrap up is great. But they does it for football and like emphasizes on the Lions, like when they're doing good or bad.
Yeah.
And I think that takes like immense talent.
I just realized. we
Imagine
still have
rapping
the
this
thing.
show.
No, I know. It'd be crazy. I mean, I could do it.